Okay, so we are going to talk about scatter plots and finding lines to represent the data. So first off, I hope you know what a scatter plot is, but if you don't, I'm going to draw one real quick for you. Bloop, 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 bloop. That's an example of a scatter plot. Specifically, when you look at a scatter plot, there's going to be one of three things you can notice about it. Well, first off, a scatter plot just means it's arrangement of coordinates, arrangement of points. Um, Sometimes it means something, sometimes it don't. But you should be able to look at them and know if they have one of three things: a positive correlation, a negative correlation, or no correlation. Now, positive correlation is simple. Does the data points kind of look like it's going up? For this example I just drew, the answer is obviously yes. Another possible one could have been, and I'm going to do two different colored dots here. Bloop, 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 bloop. Where the lines are kind of going down. That would be a negative correlation. I'll do this for the positive because that was a positive arrow. You can kind of see how those lines, that line is trending more downward, right? Now, the no correlation, we're going to do it in blue. Would look like this. Do 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 do. It's kind of all over the place. You know, even if you put the purple and red in with the none, you can kind of see that those dots don't really have a line or any sort of pattern that goes to them. That is a no correlation. A trend line, which we'll get rid of all these blue dots, would be the line that seems to kind of fit these data points the best. We're going to talk about the most basic way of finding a trend line here after a bit, but let's continue on with this first. So if we look at these, and kind of hopefully you can answer these, but I'm going to answer them again. If you look at the dots, do they look like they have a certain trend? Like these points kind of look like they're going up. So you would say, once again, this one has a positive association or correlation. Now another one like this, if it doesn't really have any up momentum, like I can't see if it's going this way. Technically it doesn't look like it's going that way very much either. It kind of looks just basic. If that's the case, once again, that is a no correlation problem. Okay? Now to find a trend line, it's really simple. Why can't I scroll down any further? Oh, because that's at the bottom of the page. Interesting. There we go. So what you do to find a basic trend line is you kind of pick 2 points that kind of look like they fit the data the best. So I think I'd probably pick these two in the middle. And I know I cut off the bottom of this graph, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to call this one would be at 4, 5. And that one would be at 6, 7, right? And we do what we've done before. We find our slope, 7 minus 5 over 6 minus 4. 2 over 2. That would be 1. So my slope's going to be 1. And then we pick one of the points. Y minus equals x minus. Plug our slope in. Pick a point. Put the y with the y, the x with the x. Distribute. Get y alone. Oops. That would be an equation of a line that mostly fits the data. So that is how you do that in terms of finding a trend line. The great thing about trend lines and what we'll talk about is regression lines is you can make predictions. I could ask you, what do you think would happen at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I could ask you, what do you think will happen out here at 10? And you could plug 10 in. 10 times 1 is 10 plus 1. I'd probably guess it's up here at 11. That's a guess that you can make. It's not important for this section, but it is something we will talk about in the next couple sections. So, all right, that's pretty simple. Hopefully it wasn't too complicated for you to understand. Remember, you can always watch it again, pause it, go back as you need to. But we'll talk about this in class. Have a good evening, and I will see you soon.